You are listening to the HYDAC podcast. In each episode, we share our knowledge with you in topics related to hydraulics and automation and control, from the basics to the current trends. Stay tuned. Welcome to this episode of HYDAC podcast. I'm your host, William Shaw, and on this episode we'll be discussing coolers and cooler sizing for the Australian market. Today I have here with me Mr. Andrea Cimadoro. Andrea is our National Development Manager for Cooling Systems. Andrea has more than 20 years experience in the aero and thermodynamics industry around the globe. So Andrea, thank you for your time today. I'll begin by asking you, why do I need a cooler on my hydraulic circuit?
Hi William, thanks for having me here, and hello everybody. Your question, I've been asked this question several times, but and I always attack the question with a joke. I always say, if the world was perfect, I would be the biggest unemployed guy in the world. But the world is not perfect, and so that means that any machine has got an imperfection, and it's got something that create heat and create the hydraulic system or the water system or any fluid system to get hot. So that's why you need a cooler, just to recover a bit of this inefficiency and put it down and put it back to the system in reducing the heat that is generated by that.
So in addressing some of those heat problems that come from machines and their applications, are there various types of coolers that I can get to suit my application or plant?
Yeah, definitely, William. In our portfolio, we got chiller, we got braze plate heat exchanger, we got gasket plate heat exchanger, we got air blast cooler, and we got system combining all this technology. And recently, a couple of years ago, HYDAC is also making an acquisition, and so we can also provide cold plate technology for cooling of electrical equipment. So the portfolio of HYDAC is very broad.
So which one would be the most common one in the Australian market that we sell, or is most commonly used and most applicable to my application?
Well, definitely the air blast type. The air blast type are the one that are most commonly used in Australia. Of course, the braze plate heat exchanger are the most efficient, thermally wise, but you need to have a good water base to cool it. So it's a fluid-to-fluid type of cooler. And in Australia, finding very good water quality, especially on mine side or on any industrial side, it's hard. So people tend to prefer air blast type.
So coming back to the air blast coolers, then, is there a secret to sizing up this type of cooler, and what are some of the things I should consider when sizing up these types of coolers?
Yeah, there is a secret. The secret is very simple for me, or let's say it's a combination of two factors. First of all, you need to know the machine. You deeply need to know the machine, what the machine is doing. You cannot avoid without doing that, and a lot of people are trying to avoid this part and just going and just do a thermal sizing. So the two key factors to be successful is do a proper thermal sizing and understand the machine 100%. And sometimes to get people understand me, I just make an example of the movie, the Walt Disney movie, Inside Out. You really need to be a little particle of oil, fluid, or water, or air, and then imagine what are you going to cool, what are you going to travel it inside the machine, exactly like the Walt Disney movie. Those two are the key to size properly a cooler and to understand the things. The mistake that a lot of people do is they try to avoid one of the two. And then, you don't have the full circle, the full pie. So that's my experience.
So what are some of the things that should be provided to help with the sizing up of a cooler? Should we look for like the oil type, the viscosity of with the temperature? Can you just run us quickly through a few of the things that we should be providing to help us size up one of these air blast coolers?
Yeah, we perform this sizing with the use of software, and I'm going to make a webinar soon on how we do these things. But yeah, let's say the more the better the data, the more the better, especially if we are sizing a cooler that is part of an engine. So we will need all the engine data, or what it's doing. It's a fixed installation. It's a dynamic machine, mobile piece of equipment. Is a genset. Or for the hydraulic, we will need to have all the hydraulic schematics and what is doing, where is the cooler, is of course is an offline. Basic parameters are for sure the temperature required, or the temperature that the system would like to run, which is very much linked to the best viscosity for the system. Temperature and viscosity are connected, and the flow and the maximum ambient. Those are the minimum amount of parameter to size up a cooler. So flow, optimal temperature, and ambient temperature. And ambient, the mistake that a lot of people makes is they only give us the maximum, but we size cooler for New Zealand, for Tasmania. We also need the minimum, because we need to see the minimum and the maximum condition of the oil.
So why do some of the people and organisations have problems calculating a heat exchanger correctly?
Yeah, one of the challenge that, or one of the common mistake that people do is they consider the highest temperature that they see in the system. And that's an indication, that's a very good indication, but if you base the sizing of your cooler on that, the risk is very big. The risk is that you can undersize by 2 or 3 size. So ideally, again, you need to know the machine. You need to understand the machine. You need to, what I'm encouraging all the internal and external sales in HYDAC is ask more questions. Get the customer to understand that you want to understand more their machine. You want to get intimate with their machine, because only by doing that you can understand and size properly the right cooler.
So provided all the correct data has been submitted and the cooler's been sized up, where can I purchase one of these? And if I need it in a hurry because my machine has suddenly encountered a significant heat load, or it's coming into summer, how do I go about this?
Well, definitely you can get in contact with any of the HYDAC branch in Australia and New Zealand. And second step or alternate, you can contact directly all our service partner in Australia and in New Zealand. But just from this Monday, you can purchase directly from our online shop. So it is available online. If you need a cooler in a hurry, you can look on our new webpage. And don't forget that we build cooler daily. So if you don't see available on stock, ring HYDAC, because most probably we can build it very quickly. So the software will tell you the exact situation on that moment that you log into it. But reality is that we got a lot of parts, we got a lot of components, and we can make it fresh for you. No problem. So get in contact with HYDAC. That's the message. And we have delivered coolers in 24-hour turnaround on breakdown on mine site and places like that. So we're not scared about that. We've been doing that for the last 9 years in Australia, and we will continue to do that in the future, definitely.
Thank you, Andrea. That definitely helps clearing up some of the information about coolers, and definitely in regards to air blast coolers. Again, thank you very much for your time. It's been very enlightening.
Pleasure being with you, and pleasure being in assistance, and stay cool.
Thanks for joining us on this episode of HYDAC Podcast. For an in-depth learning on the subject you've just listened to, enrol on the technical training at HYDAC Australia. For more information, visit our website hydac.com.au. HYDAC, global presence, local competence.